Most businesses assume trust is either present or absent. It is not. Trust is often gained gradually, lost subtly, and weakened in ways that are easy to miss. That is why so many companies do not realize they have a conversion problem caused by trust leakage. They believe their offer is strong. They believe their team is capable. They believe their marketing is clear enough. And yet prospects hesitate, delay, compare, or disappear. What happened? In many cases, nothing dramatic happened. That is the point. Conversions are often damaged not by one major failure, but by a series of small trust leaks that quietly reduce confidence throughout the buying experience. A trust leak is anything that creates uncertainty, friction, or doubt where confidence should be increasing. It can happen in your messaging. It can happen in your sales conversations. It can happen in your process, your follow-up, your handoffs, or your delivery. And the reason this matters so much is simple. People do not move forward when they feel uncertain, even if they like you, even if the problem is real, even if the offer could help. In B2B, buying decisions carry risk. A bad decision can waste budget, create internal embarrassment, slow growth, or damage credibility. So buyers look for confidence signals. They want to feel that you understand their problem, that your process is coherent, that your team is aligned, and that the experience of working with you will be clear, reliable, and low friction. When those signals are weak, conversion slows down. Let me give you a few examples. A company says it cares deeply about clients, but its communication feels inconsistent. That is a trust leak. A consultant has a strong point of view, but explains the offer differently every time. That is a trust leak. A website sounds polished, but the next step in the process feels vague or clumsy. That is a trust leak. A sales call goes well, but the follow-up email feels generic and disconnected from the conversation. That is a trust leak. A prospect is interested, but cannot quite tell what makes this approach different from the alternatives. That is a trust leak. None of these examples may feel severe on their own, but trust does not require catastrophe to erode. It only requires uncertainty at the wrong moment. And uncertainty is expensive because when confidence drops, behavior changes. Prospects ask for more time. They seek more validation. They bring in more stakeholders. They compare more options. They postpone action, or they disappear without giving a clear reason. This is why many businesses misread the problem. They assume the prospect was not serious, or the budget was not there, or the market is slower than usual. Sometimes that is true, but often the buyer simply did not reach the threshold of confidence required to act. That threshold matters. A conversion does not happen merely because value exists. It happens when value is understood and trust is sufficient. That means conversion is not just a function of persuasion. It is also a function of trust architecture. What signals are you sending? What confusion are you creating? What friction are you leaving in place? What gaps between your message and your experience are weakening confidence? These are trust questions, and they are also conversion questions. One of the most dangerous things about trust leaks is that they often hide in successful businesses. The company may still be growing. The service may genuinely help people. Clients may be satisfied overall. The growth is more effortful than it should be. Sales cycles are longer than necessary. Referrals are thinner than expected. Prospects need more reassurance than they should. Clients arrive with incomplete understanding. Delivery teams have to repair confidence that should have been built earlier. That is the cost of leakage. Not just lost deals, but lost efficiency, lost momentum, and lost compounding. Because trust is not only what helps someone say yes. It also affects how confidently they buy, how fully they engage, how long they stay, and how readily they refer others. So, what should a business do? First, stop treating trust as a vague emotional concept. Trust can be examined operationally. Look at where prospects hesitate. Look at where explanations become inconsistent. Look at where handoffs lose clarity. Look at where expectations are not set properly. Look at where the buyer experience feels less coherent than your intentions. Second, examine the full conversion path, not just the sales call, not just the website, not just the offer. Look at the sequence. How does someone first encounter you? What do they assume? What do they understand? What do they feel uncertain about? Where do they need reassurance? Where does the experience either build confidence or quietly weaken it? Third, remember that trust leaks are often easier to fix than businesses expect. Sometimes a tighter explanation changes everything. Sometimes better sequencing improves conversion. Sometimes stronger alignment between message and delivery removes unnecessary friction. Sometimes a more thoughtful next step increases confidence immediately. The opportunity is not always in doing more. Often it is in leaking less. That is a very different mindset. And it is the powerful one. Because once you start seeing conversion through the lens of trust leakage, you stop blaming random outcomes and start identifying patterns. Patterns can be improved. If your business is getting attention, but not enough momentum, if people express interest, but move slowly, if your value is real, but your conversions feel softer than they should, there is a good chance that trust is being lost in places you have not yet diagnosed. That does not mean your business is broken. It means your confidence building system may be incomplete. And when you strengthen trust at the points where it matters most, conversions often improve without dramatic changes to the offer itself. If you want help identifying where trust may be leaking inside your business, visit relationshipcapitaldevelopment.com and start with the free audit.